Yes, it's me, everybody. Hi, how are you? It's Justin Parker here. We are live. Let me know if you're here. Drop a comment because this is live and coming direct to you. Excuse the noises in the background. You might hear me cracking open some peanuts, some roasted peanuts. No salt, unfortunately. No salt today, guys. But maybe I shouldn't eat the peanuts. What's going on, Christina? What's going on, Dwayne? What's going on, Jake? I just wanted to wait a minute for a few people to show up. I guess I'll put the peanuts to the side. Just like you. That's what you do. Anyways, guys, hey, we got Brad in the house. What's going on, Brad? Give you a little hand wave. Hi. I'm actually not really waving my hand in real life. I'm actually cracking open a warm one. And by that, I mean some room temperature peanuts, fire roasted. So anyways, let's go ahead and have a conversation. I'll tell you what I've been up to and what's going on. Fire roasted peanuts. You can taste the fire. Oh, gosh. You called me out there, Dwayne. But, hello, everybody. Hello. So, all right, excuse me. That's the last of that. So what I've been up to is I've been working on videos for YouTube. Some of it could probably be viewed as filler, but even if filler is going to be good content filler. Right now I'm working on my magnum opus of perfection for YouTube videos. It's going to take a lot of research to make the video, I don't know, presentable in my opinion. It may not be the most interesting video anybody else has seen, but I'm making a video that I feel should have already been made by somebody, and it has not been made by anybody. So I'm the one. Tag, I'm it. The video is about melt movies, and I'll get more into that, excuse me, as we get closer to it. Now, as far as Joseph McCloskey says, we need more for Here's. I agree. I would like to see more for Here's. So if for some reason things don't go as they should, because it's already kind of gone a little bit off the track that we had laid out for it. So if somehow things get corrected there, awesome. If not, then hopefully for Here's can still carry on in some other fashion, or maybe the characters, or at least the ones that I contributed to. Because as far as I can tell, my partner who had started for Here's with me has just been, he's got his own life and a job, and he's got, a lot on his plate. So, hey, if we get more for Here's, awesome. If not, there'll be some kind of cartoon. But I would much rather have a cartoon with him, because that's like my longest long-term buddy that I've had. That dude and me, we got jokes, and together it's crazy jokes. Let's see. Jake says, I'm going to share. Yeah, feel free. Go ahead. Smash that like while you're here. Don't forget to leave a comment, because your name will appear on the screen. We need evidence. We need evidence that you're not a bot. We're looking for you guys. We're looking for you bots. We're on your ass, bots. We know you're around here. Hey, we got Glenn Richardson in the house. How's it going, Glenn? That actually reminds me of another thing that we need to bring up. And Joseph says, y'all are funny together. Yeah, I mean, me and Mike are just the comedy duo, it just works very good. So hopefully we get that back on track, and if not, no love lost. That's still my buddy for life. Love him. He's like my brother. So there's nothing else I could really say about it, but I get asked about that quite a bit. So it's one of those things where I don't really have the answer, and hopefully it gets figured out. If it doesn't, something else will get made. But sucks that it has to even be a topic of discussion like that. Hold on, I'm over here trying to adjust this because I don't like how this is sitting off the screen. These goddamn, don't forget to smash the like. Here we go. Just gonna make a slight adjustment there. But yeah, regardless of who or how cartoons are made, I'm always gonna have something. I'm waiting for the next idea. For Here's definitely had me that had me wrapped up in it for a month, just making the one episode. Took a lot of time on my end, and we'd actually started writing the next episode, and it's hilarious. It's actually got like a plot. It's like it's more like a real episode, unlike the pilot that we had created. So technically the first episode. Now, if that doesn't get made, at least I know that I'm capable of brainstorming a story with running jokes and like things that tie together. So now I know that at least. But I personally think I work best with a partner, and that's just my opinion. It's not that I'm not talented on my own. I think it's because I do doing so much of the work on my end that it's like I need someone else to help me with the creativity. And I can't just pick some stranger off the internet to do that. That's not how I work. I've tried that. I gotta have somebody who I actually know and there's, some chemistry with. But oh yeah, back to what I was gonna say. Glenn had reminded me. Live interviews and stuff will be happening eventually. I've been kind of getting a lot more work than usual, so I wasn't even going to go live today. I was just going to kind of lay low until my next video was done to post. By the way, if you have not seen my videos, I got 2 up. One of them is done pretty good. I think we're about to hit 600 views on the Evil Dead one. And then the They Live one looks like it's just over 100. I think the Evil Dead one's probably a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. But what I was going to say was the next video about melt movies. I'm going to do a few about horror movies. I'm going to do a few about anthology TV series and movies as well. Yeah, I mean, the way it's going to go is I got a bunch of stuff mapped out. So now it's just time to actualize it, which is not going to be impossible at all. I got plenty of time to do things. So I'm very happy about that and being able to move forward. Brad Anti-Chrysler Holland says, I thought we were French. And that character's voice, by the way, that wasn't me. That was Mike. That was good old Mike right there. I thought we were French. I can kind of do the voice, but he did it better. I hope you guys can hear me well because I got my mic down a little bit and I'm not. I guess I could be closer. Is that better? Is there more bass when I'm right here? I bet you there's more bass. Kind of warps my head though. And as far as Glenn says, he says, would love to get to know you better and be the intellectual partner. There will be opportunities for like voice work. So, and that's an addition thing. That's not like I used to just be like, yeah, you could do this or you could do that to people. And then I started thinking, it's easier said than done. So the way we'll go through that process, it'll come down to equipment. It'll come down to timeliness. It'll come down to willing to cooperate and work in a team environment. Because if I'm going to be taking the time to put together a show, I cannot have anybody fucking pulling any kind of bullshit on me. And there's just got to be a working understanding. That's all. And as far as things go right now, I'm not sure what the next... Sorry, I'm eating fire roasted peanuts. But as far as the next thing, I'm not sure what the next thing is. There's always a next thing with me. I get a lot of comments about that. Oh, you're constantly changing tracks. Oh, I thought you were going to animate. Oh, you're animating now. Oh, now you're not animating. Now you're doing YouTube videos. Oh, I thought you were rapping. I just do what the universe tells me. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Glenn says, definitely here to provide and prove myself. And there's going to be plenty of opportunity for that, too. So it's just right now, I think the first thing before I get into an actual cartoon series again, because it's a lot of work. To do it right, it's a lot of work. I mean, I could do some half-ass shit. This right here, for instance, this could be the equivalent of me doing some half-ass shit where I'm just talking to people and I say it's half-ass, but then again, that set behind me took 3 days to make, and figuring out all these programs took me about a week, and then designing this character, that took a day. I know you're probably thinking, what? That took a day? And that's like, yep. It took a lot of drawing and planning and making things so they can move and, doing a thumbs up like that or a little bit of a wave or maybe some hand on the hip action, whatever the fuck it is. I need to utilize those a little bit more, I think, too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I hate saying that so much, but I feel like you gotta say it on YouTube. So anyways, who's all here? Let's get into some conversation. I'm drinking a beer tonight called by the Real Ale Brewing Company called Devil's Backbone. It's a Belgian style tripel. It's 8.1%. It's a little weak by my standards. I like 10 and 11%, but this does the job. Also got some water on hand because you can't just have beer and not have some water. And, unless you're drinking beer water like Coors Light or something. That's beer water. You don't need water when you drink like garbage like Coors Light or Bud Light. No offense to that shit. I used to drink it back in the day. And I thought I was a real beer drinker. I was like, oh yeah, I drink beer. And then I discovered real beer and I was like, whoa, I've been missing out on flavor this whole time and alcohol and being dehydrated and throwing my life away. I missed out on those things while I was drinking Coors Light. So yeah, when you're drinking strong beer, always stay hydrated and drink water with it. Otherwise, you're gonna regret it the next day, especially the older you get. Raw Nettleton said, "Shout out to OG Mudbone." I saw that post earlier with the Dead White Males album cover. Just be careful with that post. That's all. If I post that shit, I would have been banned within like 10 minutes. So that's just me. I see that shit. I go, okay, nothing to see here. I didn't see that. I'll smash a like and get the fuck out of Dodge. Because I know I'll post something that's even less offensive than that. And because I'm not saying it's offensive, I'm saying I'll post something less offensive, more wholesome. And one time I got a 30-day ban for a picture of a fella dressed as a Ninja Turtle punching a girl in the crotch. She was not naked. There was no nudity. And Facebook said, you are banned for nudity and obscenity. And I was like, what? But I got this off of someone else's page who still has it posted. It's just a matter of who's being watched, by other people who are reporting. You gotta be careful, So nowadays I try to keep my shit clean because people just want you to fail so bad sometimes they just report shit, Brad says Natty Light is about 50% water. I don't know, Matt. I think the math on that there, Brad, might be a little bit off. I think Natty Light is probably more like 70% water. Out of all the beers, that one might have the most water content. But no, 50 might be right. What I'm drinking right now is Real Ale Brewing Co. I like how they have to point out that it's a real ale. That's got me kind of suspicious. Like, now I'm looking at it going, is this real ale or is this fake ale? Well, cheers all the same. I'm going to drink it. Hey. But Devil's Backbone, Belgian-style trip ale. It's got this really cool 50s-looking devil and, like, the road, which I'm guessing, it's a road in Blanco, Texas, which is like an hour and a half from me. I'm guessing it's probably called the Devil's Backbone. So what I'm going to do to honor this brew is I'm going to drink a 6er of these and go down and drive down the Devil's Backbone and see how that is. See how that works out. Maybe I'll get some kind of cool contract with the devil. Thumbs up if you want a cool contract with the devil. But But yeah, Glenn says people report because they have nothing better to do. I don't even know if it's just that. I think that is definitely a big part of it. They are just bored and have nothing else to do. I think the other portion of that probably comes down to not so much just jealousy, but the fact that they realize when they see anybody doing something, they go, wait a minute, I ain't doing shit. And then that's when the problems happen. Then you got people going, I ain't doing shit. Let's report Justin. Let's report Glenn. Let's report Brad. Let's just report all these people. Because I ain't doing shit. And that's just how, I don't even know if it's hate. I think it's self-hate. I don't even think it's half the time when people hate me, I don't even think it's that they hate me. I think it's that they just hate themselves. And, it's a sad situation. It's 2021 and not everybody, but it's 2021 and everybody's being told we're supposed to be offended by everything. And I don't think anybody really, have you ever seen something you didn't like and go, hey, I'm going to report that? Or at the same time, on the other hand of it, there's the other option and go, hey, I see something I don't like. Well, just keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, what the hell are you really doing by reporting people on Facebook? What you're really doing is you're creating censorship. You're creating censorship to the point where you got to think about it. You can sit here and report 100 people and, get them all in trouble. But then that's going to create a problem for you if you ever want to say the B word or the other F word. And, and that's not to say you should say the other F word. But if I so much as said either of those words right now on Facebook, I would lose my page with as many bans as I've had. Cancel culture it's a terrible trap. It's a terrible Oh yeah, see, look at that. Brad says I got popped for a post from 2014 a few weeks ago. Not even kidding. I'd say about a year or two ago, there was a big purge on Facebook where they were deleting everybody for using a three-letter F word, and because everybody used to throw that word around like crazy. And just to give you a hint of what that word was, it rhymed with bag, rhymed with rag. So everybody would be using this word, and it was usually never in the context that you're not supposed to use it in. And not to say that there's a context that you should use it in. What I'm getting at is, they'd be like, there was a picture I'd posted, and it was of the fog. It was the fog. So I don't know if you can see where I'm going with this joke, but I was at the mall that evening. This is like 6-7 years ago, and I posted a picture of the fog, and I said, "Oh, this fog is acting like another word that kind of sounds similar to it." Now, this post 6-7 years ago, Facebook decided to give me 30 days for that a couple years ago. So I don't get it. I don't know why people would want to be on this reporting and canceling stuff, because once you start, that's a can of worms that we're not going to be able to that's a tube of toothpaste that once you start emptying, you're not going to be able to refill. So, and then especially now with everybody being trapped in their houses, they're even more bored, so they have time to be offended. And I think a lot of this offense probably comes from the families, the larger families with like people in their 20s living at their mom's house, and like they have kids there too or something, and those people in their 20s say some funny joke in front of their mom who's like 50 or something, and the mom's like, "Oh, that's bad, you shouldn't like that," and they're like, "Yeah, you're right, let's report it," even though they find it hilarious. I think people are canceling stuff because they want to keep up appearances, not because they're actually offended, because they want to seem like they are the politically correct person that they are not. It's like when a serial killer goes to church every Sunday and donates to the local food bank and does all these things to look great. It's similar to that, except they're not killing people, they're just censoring people. So it's not really the same thing, but you get the idea of what I'm going with that. The metaphor, I guess. There's a metaphor in there. The metaphor is cancel culture is probably being motivated by the same thing that drives a serial killer minus the killing, but you get where I'm going with that. Glenn says, good example, a YouTuber almost recently got canceled because of a false accusation. People jump on the cancel train way too quick. Yeah, that's the other thing too. As soon as something comes up, nobody hears anything out. Nobody weighs out evidence. Even if, in some cases, I mean, I guess we probably know up front, but at the same time, if you don't know, maybe you should, instead of just being so quick to fucking, to nail someone to a cross, just be like, hey, let's look into this. Chris says, these kids will never know the cool stuff we grew up with. I grew up with Garbage Pail Kids. The Garbage Pail Kid that's named after me, it's Disgusting Justin. It's of a heavy-set motorcycle fella. So he's fat. He's riding a motorcycle and he's drinking beer. Now, I'm not saying that's a role model for kids or even something kids should probably be joking about, but I thought it was hilarious. I also knew it was just a joke. It was just not something to take too seriously. That's just one example, of the. There was, I think, one of them was a Stone Sean, and he's like, he's made out of stone, and he's stoned. I didn't get the joke. I was like 6. I didn't know what they were making fun of, but I thought, okay, that's cool looking. By today's standards, that's not allowed. But it's funny because at the same time, you want to cancel stuff like Garbage Pail Kids or whatever, and then you got these kids movies with adult jokes in them. Well, the kids won't get them, so it's okay. That's how we're doing this? We're assuming kids don't get the jokes? Because when I was 9, I got a lot of jokes that I was probably not supposed to. That's not to say all kids do, but I know when I was 9, I was like, I get that joke. I'm not going to laugh because I don't want them to know I get that joke. You know what I'm saying? You remember that when you was a kid. You'd be watching a movie with your parents and they say some fucking funny ass shit and then you laugh and they're like, why you laughing? And be like, I don't know, I'm stupid. And they'd be like, oh yeah, that's right, you're stupid. But really you're like, well, I get the joke. That's why, you fucking moron. We've all been there. That is a tasty beverage I'm having right now. I just want to say cheers to anybody at home who's also having beer. If you're not having a beer, this sip is for you. Yeah. Welcome to 2021, the year of canceling, because it offends someone somehow. And usually it's not even that it offends the person that's offended, it offends some imaginary person they think it offends. I was watching a clip of like hecklers in the audience at some comedian's show. I forget the guy's name. He used to work for College Humor or something. And enjoy that Guinness, Ryan. I'm just gonna raise my glass to you real quick. Have a Guinness, Ryan. It's time. It's Guinness time. Go be a Guinness pig. Is that what we call you for drinking Guinness? Guinness pig? You know, like the guinea pig? Anyways, this comedian was getting heckled and someone was like, it's offensive. And he was like, to who? And she's like, to them. And she's pointing to the two people she's sitting next to. And he's like, I didn't mean to offend your friends. And they're like, we don't even know her. And he's like, oh, the plot thickens. He's like, are you offended? And they're like, no. And he's like, so you see that? You know, he's like, you're over here saying, what I'm saying is offending people, but really, you're just saying it's offending people and nobody's actually offended. That's the society we are living in now. So, let's see what's going on. Today's been a good day on eBay. I don't know if you know, I sell things on eBay. That's been a really good day on eBay, as a matter of fact. I did have one asshole who decided he wanted to buy something. He lowballed me like 3 times. You get 4 chances to make offers. The 4th offer, he finally makes an offer that's higher than the original amount, because before he could make that 4th and final offer, I doubled the price. I was like, you know, fuck this guy. You gonna sit here and do that to me? Okay, here we go. And then so I raised it from $70 to like $125. His final offer was like $80 or just under. And then with shipping, it was probably like $85. And then he sends me a message. Oh, God. Let's go ahead and get that message on the screen real quick. Give me a second. I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't plan this. So I'm going to go ahead and get the message that he sent me. And, oh, man. This thing is just, it just kills me. Did I delete it already? Oh, I might have deleted the message. Well, he asked me if I was one of 2 things, but the combination of the things that he asked me, which I were, he's basically, one was a racist remark and one was just an insensitive remark to mentally challenged people. So he's like, are you this or are you that? And I'm just like, wow. So I said, have a good night, you know, and he's messaged me a few times. So, I mean, he's just upset that I didn't sell him the movie that he wanted, which is fine. But yeah, why pay to go to a comedy show just to complain? Yeah, Brad says, you're talking about the comedian in glasses destroying hecklers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that guy. He's like, I think he's a redhead or brown haired. I don't know, but he used to work for College Humor. We pay to go to a comedy show just to complain about the jokes. That makes no sense. Yeah, pretty much you're paying the guy. So no matter what, he's paid. And now you're going to get destroyed yourself, you know? I think that's the thing, too, is these people go to these shows, and maybe they're looking for something to be offended about. Like, I seen one where it was, what's his name? What's the comedian's name? I don't know if it was Steve Harvey talking to, like, Jerry Seinfeld. It might have been Steve Harvey. And he's like, oh, some woman after the show told me, like, hey, look, we got Swan in the house. What's going on, Swan? Let me give you a little bit of hand movement here for you. It's like, oh, hey, it's Swan. What's going on, Swan? I'm going to put my hands on my hips and say Swan's in the house. But, yeah, so, you know, I think it was Steve Harvey. I thought comedy shows were boss battles. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be. Steve Harvey had some woman come up to him. I'm sure this is a tried and true thing for all comedians. And she's like, you offended me in that joke. And he's like, ma'am, I don't even know you. Like, did I say your name in the joke? She's like, no. But you made a joke about somebody in her, you know, and I think the other guy was like somebody in their 80s. And he's like, yeah. And how old are you? She's like, I'm in my 60s. He goes, well, then you got 20 years till it's your joke. Or, you know, until I'm joking about you. It's just how people are, you know. People are definitely attention seekers, positive or negative. Well, everybody wants attention. I mean, I'm not doing what I'm doing for nothing. I'm not doing this for not attention. So, you know, attention, that's fine. That's one thing. But attention to hurt somebody's image or try to make someone else look bad, mudslinging, I think we should call it. I think that's the bad thing. And we've all been guilty of mudslinging or being slung mud at us or having mud slung at us, I should say. But I think in this day and age, people just need to chill the fuck out. Really do. Let's see. Swan says that's more hand movement than I have with these shoulders. Well, gosh darn, Swan. I didn't mean to show off. I hope I didn't offend you. Please don't cancel me. Honestly, I think we need another draft. What kind of draft? Were we talking about a beer? Let me just pull the old beer out here. Have this draft. This draft's for you, Swan. So anyways, Ryan Chambers says, I'm mudslinging my Subaru. The other day I pulled up to my house and there was like mud tracks in my driveway. I'm like, what is this by my? And I was like, oh, I did that. I was about to say, who the hell did that to me? So yeah, I had put the mud on my driveway. War draft. What are we talking about here on drafts? By the way, what are you doing right now, Swan? What are you up to, buddy? Are you smashing that like? You gonna do one of those? Are you smashing a like? Because I like when you guys smash likes. That's what I do. I just sit around smashing likes all day. Adam Northrop says, well, when we were kids, offensive comedians had Saturday morning kids cartoons. Oh, you mean like Bill Cosby? I mean, he probably wasn't offensive then, but I think he's kind of offensive now. But yeah, I mean, Saturday morning kids cartoon were so questionable. We had cartoons based on Rambo. We had, oh, thank you for smashing that love. We had cartoons based on RoboCop. I'm pretty sure he was a murderer. I mean, for the law. Glenn says, oh, that person has different views than me. I hate them. They must be destroyed. Well, that's a good idea. If someone doesn't agree with you, you know what you should do? You should probably make sure their life is a living hell. Or, and this is just wrong hand. Or, oh, shit, I'm doing the wrong one again. Or, there we go. Or what they should do instead is just move the fuck on. I know, it's crazy, right? When I was a young, youthful, spry fella who I guess had more energy to waste on hate. Because I mean, look, I hate stuff. We all hate things. But I was very hateful for a time. And I had the energy. I don't have that energy anymore. And I think that maybe these people need to go through some harder experiences in life before they get offended. I suffered a back injury, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. Serious one. And I remember the first time I was laying there on my back injured. I couldn't walk, okay? They should have sold a Nerf Rambo series if they didn't. I don't think they did, but that would be a good idea. But now while I was laying on my back injured for months, 3 months out of work, I watched some old show. I forget what it was, Family Matters. I think Fat Carl Winslow, pulled a muscle in his back and everybody laughs. And it's just a big, hilarious, comedic situation. And until that moment, I never understood all these jokes about back injuries actually weren't that funny. But at the same time, I didn't sit here and go, that joke's about me. I'm going to write him a letter and tell him how angry I am. They should cancel this. No, you know what I said? I said, well, shit, this sucks. And I wish people actually knew how serious a back injury could be. And maybe we wouldn't joke about this. But at the same time, that's not their responsibility to not joke about it. You see where I'm going with this? Maybe there are some things we shouldn't joke about, and I agree with that. Maybe there are some things we should not joke about, and that's fine, okay? But overall, I think everything is pretty much fair game. It's all about having a sense of humor, and sometimes you got to be the butt of a joke. I mean, I've been the butt of a joke half of my life, and the other half of my life, I've been the dick in the butt of the joke. So, is that offensive? I hope that's not offensive. Glenn says, on the same wavelength and whatnot. Swan says, I got a life-threatening lung disease and had a heart attack. I've never been mad at something for more than 2 minutes since then. Yeah, I think, I still get angry, don't get me wrong, okay? But what I'm getting at, I guess, is I can't get mad at all, bad. Oh, here's an example. A former hype man for my group. I'm in a group on and off, I guess. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. And we had a fellow by the name of El Pasty Guerrero. I don't know. I'm making fun of his name because fuck that guy. But is that offensive? I hope it is. I hope he sees this. If he does, how's it going, buddy? How you like those recent copyright strikes you got on your YouTube account for posting my music? See, that's probably offensive humor right there. This fella, made a huge deal out of an album, well, a mixtape we'd done together that he co-hosted. I did the bulk of the work. And then when it was time to print these things, I said, hey, man, you want to put some money on this and, get some return? Yeah, if you find a joke offensive, that's someone else's problem, not yours. Eric Glover is in the house. Oh, great. I've been reported by Glenn. And Eric says he's here to say today. But I told him, I was like, yo, man, you want to put like a 100 or 2 on this? Because I just paid this dude like $250 to do some really awesome artwork. And now I got to press these CDs. That's going to cost money. And he's like, no, just do it for free. And I'm like, what? No, we're gonna give it away for free digitally, and we're gonna sell some copies of this because I gotta make back that $250 that I spent on the cover. Because I'm an artist, but I'll pay other artists to do artwork. You'd be insane to not pay other artists. If you do all your own artwork, you're gonna not only look kind of cheap, but don't you want some variety? You can't do it all. You know what I'm saying? You can, but you can't do it all well. I mean, you can, but you can't. So, anyways, what it came down to is, rest in peace, MF Doom. That's why I got this little throwy up here behind me. Anybody know about that MF Doom throw up there? Let me just point to that real quick. I guess I should use my hands. Hey, look, there's an MF Doom throw up behind me, a throwy. As we used to say back in my day, back in 1998, when we'd spray paint the trains. Swan says he's collaborated with other illustrators and still feels like he should be paying them. Well, that's probably not true. I mean, but I know what you're talking about. That's where you just go, hey, I'm not that good. I'm not as good as these guys. And the truth is, because I've felt that. I've also felt better than other artists I've worked with. Ego is a thing we all got to put in check and just keep it moving. Eric says, sup, Swan. If I'm not mistaken, I think Swan's doing animations, or I'm not really sure what you're doing. I catch what I can on the post, but I know he's drawing. I think you're animating too, so correct me if I'm wrong. Brad says El Pasty was a D-bag on my Facebook years ago. He was throwing shade. He sure was. Now here's the story about him. He recently, after not wanting to put money on this album, on this mixtape, he then turns around and goes, well, you said it was going to be free. And I said, yeah, digitally. I told you also I wanted to make back this money on this artwork. And also my fans, like my support system, my support base, like to have physical media. So, of course, I'm going to sell it. I think I only printed like 100 of them. And he could have got a cut of that if he would have put some kind of money in on it. But he didn't. And also I drove out to Santa Cruz to record him. And also I edited it and got everybody else in on it. It's just, Swan says he took a huge break because life, but he's back on his animation game. That's good. I'm gonna have to check that out. So send me a link because I know I've seen some ducks. I like ducks. You drew some ducks. You drew some kind of bird, something foul, something offensive and foul. You drew that, and I liked it. Glenn says working with people can be tough because they see the price and get scared. Yeah, that's why. You know why I got into animation. Because as a person who's paid for all kinds of services, artwork included, I started shopping around animation, and most animators start at about $5,000. And I said to myself, you know what? I got that can-do attitude, and I could probably do some half-ass crudely drawn animations. I bet. And I was right. Did I save money in the long run? Probably. Did I save time? Fuck no. I did not save time. And time is money, so therefore I did not actually save money, if I want to get technical. You should make a post reminding folks that if they don't have the app, they can see you live, so YouTube shows you live as well. That's true. I should probably make a comment on this. If you're not watching me on Facebook, or if you are watching me on Facebook, you could also watch me on YouTube. This is streaming simultaneously. I will eventually be streaming on Twitch and some other platforms, I guess, once I get kind of my shit figured out. Swan says he don't like drawing swans, so he decided to make them look like some kind of fat, ambiguous birds. And that's how I like to draw my women. Fat, ambiguous birds. That was cancel worthy. I should not have said that. But Chris says, this is why I'm so solo artist. Every group I done, I feel like I did most of the work. Haven't found anyone I could trust. For me, I've done a lot of collaborative stuff. And it's not that I don't trust people. I think it's because I expect as much as I put in. And if I don't feel I'm getting as much, then, my feelings kind of get hurt, or it could also damage a relationship or friendship. And I'm trying to get to the point where I go, you know what? It just didn't work. It doesn't mean I still can't appreciate this person as a friend or as someone to collaborate with occasionally. It's just, you get a little bit more cautious and leery. And I'm starting to get into this area of maybe I should just depend on myself for a bit. And that's not by any means meant to be an insult to anybody. It's just my personal view and from my own personal life experience, because that's what I live and that's all I know and that's all I can really share the viewpoint of. Glenn says, my whole art style and shtick is super dope. Thank you. I'm just a guy who tries to do things. Swan says, I wish Facebook will put more work in optimizing live stream chats. I feel like the regular comment system doesn't cut it entirely. And I agree, there should be more to it. Being famous might help too, though. So maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should be famous. I'll give that a go sometime. Hey, look at me. Oh, yeah. Let's be famous. Famous guys, me and you. All right, everybody. We're famous now. So going back to that story, however, this fella, my response to him freaking out. Well, first off, he's resorted to elementary school level of insults and put downs. So then, and at some point he'll probably pop up in these comments if he's heard of this YouTube, he'll find it and he'll comment like, "Hey, fuck you, Justin," and then he'll probably say something like, "You don't know how to swim," because I was born in the Bay Area, which we were surrounded by water, but we didn't, we lived in a city. I didn't learn how to swim. I can kind of float. I could swim if I had to for my life, but I can't swim all gracefully like synchronicity with people. Yeah. Step 1, get famous. Step 2, stream on Twitch. If I send you some artwork I did recently through Messenger, could you rate it 1 to 10? I sure could, Glenn. Just remember, my opinion ain't shit, and neither is anybody else's. So whatever I say, it's never personal. I attended some college courses where we basically tore each other's art down while praising it at the same time. So I'll give you the old shit sandwich, where I'll point out something decent, an open-faced shit sandwich, something decent, and then something that I think is off. And it's not because I think artwork sucks in general. It's because my eye has now been trained to go, this is good, but, Jared says, so if I pooped in your toilet as much as you did, who cleans whose butt? I don't know. I clean my own ass. Thanks for asking, but... Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Jared Menthol's in it. Jared Methina's in the house. Freudian slip. Now he knows I think he's a cigarette. And then the English word for cigarette is, look how fast my thinking is when it comes to insults. Look how quickly I drove it there. Just from a slip. I accidentally said menthol. And then that takes it somewhere completely different. What's going on, Jared? Glenn says constructive criticism is always a good thing. And I take criticism as serious as I take compliments. Neither of them really mean a whole lot anymore. I think I've always had a hard time with compliments because I also had a lot of, growing up, I was a shy kid. I was picked on a bit too once I moved. And then, not being able to swim, that definitely brought some problems. But I'm not looking for no pity. So let's get back to that story. So he makes fun of the fact that I can't swim. I'm like, man, this is elementary as it gets. Like, last time someone made fun of me for that was a kid, when I was a kid. So, all right, Swan, well, if you come back, you might like the rest of the story. It's about to get interesting. No, it already has gotten interesting. It's about to get concluded. But, well, yeah, no, you cannot improve without negative, let me finish this story here. Can I swim now? Well, I mean, I could float. I can kind of swim. We have a pool, and I occasionally flop around in it like a beached whale, struggling for its life. It's fun. But with that being said, his insults were all like, "Oh, fuck you! You didn't pay me," and I'm like, "Motherfucker! I told you the deal. Like, I told you how you can get this money is by putting in money. All the extra runoff, I'll split it." But he was too busy owing me $40 at the time, because I will never forget. If I ever gave anybody money and I never got it back, and they swear up and down like 8 or 9 times, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you back," and I never once bring it up, then I commit that to memory and say, let's see, will they give me the $40 or whatever I lent them? Because I don't lend money very much. I don't like to borrow money either. And mostly for the reasons of that creates a whole new situation between people. And I think that's the worst situation to create between people is debt, because why fucking owe somebody, and why be owed by somebody? But so more recently, after all of that, oh hold on, there's one more layer to this story. So I got pissed off. I posted a couple copies for like $100 each, and they sold. He got real pissed off about that. And then I released. Jared didn't get paid for the cartoon, but Jared, neither did I. So please sue me for the lack of money I made off of it, because it's not even monetized. I'll see you in court, Jared. Jared. That's your name now. It's Jared. Does that hurt? It doesn't. Well, then I'll stop saying it, Jared. But sorry to interrupt your story, but I sent the artwork. All right, I'll check that out. Somebody named Stupid Asshole has left a comment saying, "What's up, buddy? What's going on, stupid asshole?" But so anyways, then after that I released a censored version of it, because then he started creating this big fuss like, "Hey, oh, you can't do that. You can't post this music without my consent." And I'm like, wait a minute, actually I hold more copyright over it than you, for many reasons, mostly legal ones. Hi everybody who's just tuning in, by the way. So I released a censored version where I replaced him on the cover art with another picture of me on the cover art, and then it said Killator mixtape volume 2 guest hosted by Killator, featuring Killator and Killator and Killator, and then everything was just replaced with just me so nobody could sue me. And then it starts with me talking at the beginning of the album, and then as soon as somebody else speaks, it's just one long beep after that. It was just beep. I was going to censor everything that wasn't me. Then I said, no, it'd just be funnier and quicker if I just censored the whole thing immediately after someone else starts talking, which is about like 5 seconds in. And then I put it on YouTube. It got a copyright strike because apparently the beep is copyrighted. I didn't know that. The censor beep, if you run that for like 30 minutes on YouTube, you get hit with a copyright strike. So anyways, that's years ago, right? 4 or 5 years ago. And excuse me, guys, I'm gonna have a sip of this beer. Delicious beer. So with all that said, he more recently posted the Killator mixtape volume 2, and he did not have consent or permission to post music that is actually copywritten to me. Some of them are still up on his page right now. He doesn't realize that they are monetized. I left a couple monetized ones because I was like, well, might as well make some money off of him. He doesn't realize, he might think he's doing a service to the fans or something. But, yeah, I mean, I wear a mask, so obviously the song's about me. But, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, one of the songs he's got up right now is monetized. So I'm like, yeah, we'll leave that one. I think I clicked like 5 or 6 of those things. I said, let's get those out of here. And YouTube was like, hey, you're right. You're Killator. And he's posted a bunch of Killator stuff that says Killator and shows Killator. And every single one is labeled with Killator. And even if it wasn't, I could still have it pulled because I own the copyrights. And it's not because I'm offended. It's not because of anything other than the fact, then fuck that guy. It's a personal thing. And you owe me $40. So why the fuck would I let you post any of my shit without my consent? You know, and that's not a challenge to him. It's just a fucking, I'm sick of that old fucker being on my ass about it. You know what I'm saying? Donald W. Biddle Jr. is in the house. So, what's going on there, guys? Everybody just tuning in, by the way. I'm just talking some old mess that I haven't talked about. Or at least that the plot has thickened in. I may or may not leave this video up. I'm not real big on leaving up the live videos for long, but I'll probably leave it up for a bit just so people could talk, read what I'm talking, whatever. I'm drinking a beer, so shut up. But I wouldn't be surprised if the guy commenting right now is probably Pasty or something. That would be typical Pasty, you know, because he's bored. But yeah, that fella, he just suddenly got a hair up his ass to start posting my music as if he had the rights. So got some of it tore down, left some of it up so I can make some money off of it, because hey, even if it's a penny per play or whatever they want to give me, I'll take it. he ain't gonna get no revenue off of it. Starve Lopez says best horror movie of all time. Hold on, let me just, not to pass up on what you asked me there, Starve, but there's a message underneath that needs my direct attention. Donald W. Biddle Jr. says he's at the hospital with his wife and newborn son. So I just wanted to say congratulations to you, everybody. Let's congratulate Donald. He is a father. He's just had a new son. What's the name of your child? What's the middle name of your child? What's his social security number? And can I go get a credit card in his name so we could? I'm just kidding. You never do that to a kid, okay? Never ruin a kid's credit history. People actually do that. I've heard of such things, and I was like, really? Like, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, people really do that? Don't ever do that. Congratulations to you, Donald. It's a happy day for you, and I hope you make the most of it. I remember when my daughter was born, it was the most tiresome day of my life. I was tired. I was happy. I was running on happy. I didn't know you could run high on happy. But I did that day like I'd never been happy before. I was running on happy for a couple weeks. So enjoy the high you're going to have off of that right now, where it's like, yeah, you're proud because it feels good. Eventually it's, you shut up, child. I'm doing stuff. Stop asking for things, even though they kind of have to. And it's not even all that. It's more of, it just becomes the normal thing. And it's not that it's not a happy time. It just becomes part of normal life. So enjoy the happy high that you're going to have for a while, because that is probably the best feeling I think I've ever had, was the weeks following the birth of my daughter. Good feelings. Good times. But congratulations to Donald's son, David Wayne. And back to Starve's question. Refresh me, Starve. I think you said best horror movie of all time. Well, of course, this is an opinion. Oh, yeah, kids say the funniest shit. They also say the stupidest shit, too, which is probably why it's funny. But they definitely do say some pretty funny stuff. Travis Sopar is in the house. Ryan Chambers is in the house. What's going on, guys? I'm going to give you a quick wave. Howdy do, guys. How are you? But, oh, man, I like so many horror movies. I don't even know where to start with that question. Today, I'll tell you what I got in the mail. I got a steelbook for the movie Rad. R-A-D, Rad, from the 80s. I collect Blu-rays, and if they come with like the promo codes for or not promo codes, if they come with a download code, I shoot those over to Stir. So Stir's got a very healthy digital download library now. Okay, so now that's a better question. He said top 5. All right, I'll do a top 5 in no particular order, and I'm going to be loose with it being horror, because it may be horror sci-fi or it may be horror comedy. You see where I'm going with that? In my top 5 easily, I would say Brain Damage is in my top 5. Love that movie. Another movie I think is amazing would be Street Trash. Another top 5 movie, They Live. Great movie. It's up for debate. I would say Evil Dead Part 2, particularly Part 2. The Thing is great. I don't know if that's in my top 5, but I do love The Thing. That's an awesome movie. But if I'm going to go with a Carpenter movie, I'm going to go with They Live. So let's see. We got They Live, Brain Damage, Street Trash, Evil Dead 2. And I guess for the number 5 spot, I'm looking around. All my movies are in the we have a big old walk-in closet. They're all in there on the top shelf. I don't know. There's a bunch. Oh, Intruder. That's it. That might even be my number 1. Intruder. Oh yeah, I love Mandy. I have a copy of Mandy. Great movie. The Thing is in my top 10, by the way, easily. But Intruder, 1989, I believe. Hey, look, guys, we reached 100 messages. Intruder is definitely in my top 5, if not my top number 1. Brain Damage is high up in my top 5 too. It's probably number 2 or 3. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Brain Damage, the recent Blu-ray release that they'd put out, features some of my art on a special feature. I'm on screen for like 2 seconds, but hey, I can say I did that. You know what I'm saying? And then, I've seen May. I have a copy of that on DVD from when Hollywood Video went out of business. It's where the girl cuts bodies up and stitches a new boyfriend out of them. I haven't watched it since it came out. Psycho Goreman, Chris says. That's a great movie. I got my got the Hunky Boy Edition Blu-ray deluxe packaging coming in the next week or so. Donald says the birds. I'm not a fan of the birds, but be sure to look up on YouTube birds without the birds. It's fucking hilarious. You'll like it. Ryan says one of his favorite childhood movies is John Carpenter's Vampires. You know, I don't know if I've seen that one. I'm going to have to check that out. Starve says, I feel like you've seen everything I have. Oh, I've probably seen a bunch of stuff you have and then a bunch of stuff you haven't, but then you've probably also seen a bunch of stuff I haven't. So now that comment you made is inaccurate, so go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding. I do have all 9, I think it's 9 Tomie movies on DVD, half of which I acquired from, again, from Hollywood Video going out of business. I got the first like 4 or 5 Tomie movies for 99 cents each. And they still have the little spine sticker from Hollywood. It's great. Still got I got rid of the Hollywood cases, but they still got the stickers on them from Hollywood. Excuse me. Army of Darkness is definitely not in my top 10. I have a video coming out on why. I used to love Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3. You know, Army of Darkness also being 3. I used to love it. But, the ones you gonna give me? No, I'll rip you a copy of the Tomies if you want. I'll burn the ISO files if you have a way to. That's illegal. I'm not gonna do that. Don't you dare message me on Facebook about that either. Later. So, Monster Squad says, or Black Ops. I've not seen Black Ops. I don't know who said that. I don't see your name on the screen. Sorry. Tell me more about that. I'll have to check that out. Monster Squad is definitely in, like, you know, now if we want to start talking top 50, then I can get a little more loose and go, well, yeah, Monster Squad's in my top 50 easily. And as Army of Darkness is not a horror. That's why I don't think it counts for this particular conversation. And I love Army of Darkness for the comedy, but it's a comedy. Me and my buddy Mike have this conversation a lot. I typically don't like movies that take place in the past, in old dirty West or the old medieval England times. Because all I can think about is they stink. They probably smell in their butts and crotches, you know, and their armpits. They probably smell. But yet, oddly enough, I like Mad Max movies. So I'm a hypocrite. Event Horizon, I've not seen that, but they did just get a new Blu-ray release for that from, I believe, Scream or Shout Factory. Donald says, I'll have to check that out. Donald says, what was the movies that the toys came to life and killed? With the drill head, that's Puppet Master. Now, before Puppet Master, a movie I loved as a kid was one called Dolls, but I tried watching Dolls again as an adult, and I gotta tell you, not a fan. But as a kid, I loved it. Maybe I wasn't a fan because it sucked. But, Old Boy, yes, I've seen Old Boy. The original, because I think there's a remake, if I'm not mistaken, or an English dub or something. But Old Boy, I don't know if I count that as horror, but it's definitely a great movie. It's about this fella who gets, like, kidnapped. I forget the reason. I haven't seen it in, like, 4 or 5 years. But he gets kidnapped, and while he's kidnapped and stored away, he's just training himself to become, like, this super fucking badass, punching a wall. And, yeah, see, Brad says Puppet Master. Anyways, it's a story of revenge, and he's writing a story trying to figure out all the things that well, not revenge, but he's trying to figure out all the wrongs he did in his life. And he's like, what can I do? How do I write this? How do I fix this? You know? I don't see. Now, there you go. There you go. Listen to the movie I don't think I've seen. I Saw the Devil is probably in Starve's top 10. I do not know if so it did have a remake, by the way, on Old Boy, huh? I had a feeling. Starve said, you know what, a movie I've been wanting to watch real quick? The Story of Ricky-O. I love the gore in that. I always feel like it inspired Mortal Kombat. I feel like I have a video about movies that Mortal Kombat probably ripped off. But anyways, I Saw the Devil. Never seen that movie. I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. No, I mean, I think I would know if I'd seen it. In the Mouth of Madness. I've seen it once when it came out. I was a kid. I think I was just too young and dumb to give a shit about it. I bet you I'd probably like it now as an adult. Donald says Hellraiser is in his top 5. I got to tell you, the first 2 Hellraisers are fucking incredible. I just like that the second one actually feels like a continuation of the first one in regards to the editing, the tonal storytelling, the actors, everything. It just feels like a continuation. Starve says you should see this movie called As the Gods Will. It's a blast. Now that one I've heard of. I don't think I've seen that either. However, one of the worst, Devil, the damn elevator movie. I haven't seen that. Jacob Cook. Hey, that's Mr. 8 Legs. What's going on, dude? I'm gonna give you a wave. All right. Uh, where does Zombie Beavers land on this list? Zombievers is actually the movie you're talking about, and it's a great movie. Zombievers is pretty hilarious, and I think it starts with Bill Burr in the beginning. Bill Burr is it's my hero. But I think that's a comedian a lot of us can enjoy for his offensive nature. God, he's offensive. These are going too fast. Ryan said something and I didn't quite catch it. Oh gosh, you guys are making me blush. Glenn says you don't need to. It's horrible. In regards to what? See, now I'm lost. Swan says, I saw The Devil as a typical revenge story, but it's pretty good if I remember correctly. Well, you know what? I like revenge. I want to take revenge on every one of you right now by having a sip of this tasty beer. In real life, actually. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Devil's Backbone. I saw the Devil's Backbone beer in my hand. That's the devil I saw. Okay. You like boring movies? Got it. I don't know. That's kind of I like convoluted movies that make no fucking sense, like most of the people I encounter every day. Call me crazy, but I like what I know. Anyways, I don't know. For top 10, if we were going to expand from the 5 that I listed earlier, what did I say? Brain Damage, They Live. Oh, did I mention Street Trash had a German release of the Blu-ray? They put some of my artwork in there. They actually credited me. So big shouts out to them. I'm thinking about getting the director for that movie and one of the stars from the movie interviewed either live or as part of a video that I'm working on right now in regards to Melt movies. That's one of the few contexts I have that I think is impressive, and most people are like, that's garbage. And I'm like, thanks, you're garbage too. I'm garbage. That's why we know each other, garbage. Hereditary is good for modern horror. Now, if you want to talk modern horror, I do like A24. Their films are great. Not all of them, but because I didn't give a shit for what was that one in Sweden? Midsummer. That's what it was called. I didn't really care for it, but I also didn't finish it, so that might be my fault. I got like maybe an hour into the 5-hour movie that it is. Species, I remember liking that. But now for A24, they have a movie. Now, if you guys like Midsummer or Hereditary, yeah, A24, the company who makes these movies. If you like their movies, if you like Witch, The Witch is an awesome movie. A lot of people complain, oh, this movie sucks. And, not really. It didn't suck at all. See, Starve says the ending's worth it. Midsummer is probably good if I finished it, I enjoyed Midsummer, hated it conceptually, so it did its job. Well, for me, it's more of, if I think I would have finished that one, I probably would have liked it. But I did love The Witch. I did love Hereditary. But you know which one I really liked the most that they did? And I've not heard too many people talk about it. But it's called The Visit. And it's about these kids who go visit their grandparents. And I don't want to give away anything. And if you've not seen this movie, do not look into it. Please do not look. I have not seen the house that Jack built. I have not seen it, and I've been meaning to. I heard it's got a fucked up couple of moments. I've been meaning to watch that. And I think it's free now on Prime or somewhere, so I might as well do that. But one that I've watched from A24, The Visit. Please do yourself a favor. Do not look up this movie or anything about it. Just watch it. Because I feel it's more powerful if you went in not knowing anything. You'd be like, oh, God, this is crazy. What the fuck? Because I knew a little bit about what was going on. And I feel like if I hadn't known, it would have been more powerful. Like if I went into it blind, not knowing anything about it, it would have blown my goddamn mind. Ryan Chambers says The Visit is good. Donald W. Biddle Jr. says House Halloween built is weird as ever. I'll have to check that out. I don't know if I know that one. Guys, I'm just gonna get the fire roasted peanuts out and bust a couple of nuts while we're talking. Whoa, that sounded dirty. Let's see here. I do like movies like that, said Swan. You should watch The Visit. And if you don't know anything about it, please do yourself a favor. Do not. Because the synopsis for it will ruin it alone. Maybe not fully, but I wish I didn't know. Because I loved it already knowing, and I feel like I would have loved it even more had I known nothing about it. And I wish more movies didn't give away the plots. They'd just be like, hey, here's a new movie. They might fuck with your head a little bit. Watch it. And then you go, whoa, this fucked with my head. They were right. I didn't see this coming. you know. So, have I seen Ready or Not? Uh-oh, did I miss your comment, Eric? Please repeat if I missed it. I'm sorry about that. Glenn says, have you seen Ready or Not? I'm going to say no. I don't know. Oh, Wicker Man. I saw that in theaters when it came out. The bees. Starve says he heard House of the Devil was good to see, but has yet to see it. Has yet to partake in the viewing pleasures of House of the Devil. I have not seen House of the Devil. But, you know, also lately I've been watching melt movies the last few days, and movies that people call melt movies incorrectly. I'm working on a thesis paper about what constitutes a movie that would be called a melt movie. The reason it's a thesis paper is because college taught me to write papers, and I want to have a solid case, and also want to come up with a way to prove what is and what is not a melt movie. It's time to flex the old brain muscle every now and then. Swan says it's on Prime, but for rent. Good thing the stimulus money can allow me to afford sexual. You know, I woke up this morning to a fucking shitload of money, and then eBay was good, so other people must have woke up with a shitload of money, because I got a few extra hundo just off of eBay, and then some sales off of the music. So I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm gonna assume it was a stimulus. Oh, Society. So that's actually in my Starve says Society. Speaking of melt movies, and that's considered a melt movie, but I think personally I disagree. I'm actually gonna watch it again. I've seen it twice, but I'm gonna watch it again. And what I'm doing is I got a list of items from each movie, and I put them up against each other. I'm battling 8 movies against each other. I'm gonna probably work in a Disney movie, because I got 8 movies, but to fill the screen I could always use a 9th movie. So I'll put something from Disney, just to see if it constitutes as a melt movie. But you know, mostly for laughs. But Society, I don't believe it counts as a melt movie. I don't want to get into what I think, because I have yet to prove my point yet with my thesis, or as you guys would probably call it, a theory. I have not quite figured out the exact specs for what makes a melt movie. Real quick, Glenn says fan of House of Thousand Corpses and its sequel. I'll get into that in a second. But what makes a melt movie? And that's my question. And I'm halfway into the research. It's taken a few days. And I have a feeling, Slither, I got that on Blu-ray recently. I actually haven't watched it, but it's got that fella from Walking Dead and Mallrats, the cop from Mallrats or whatever, security guard. Or he's not a security guard, but that guy, the bald guy. Swan says he's on that rent-free living since he's downsized his life from COVID, and it's pretty nice. Man, I will never know what that's like, not having to not pay some form of, I don't know, making payments right now. But whether it's rent or house payments, I mean, there's always some form of paying, unless you're fortunate enough to not have that. And if that's the case, please utilize that. I have a feeling if I had a similar situation, I don't know if I would. I think I would squander it. I think it would be too easy to squander it. That's just me, because I'm a lazy piece of shit sometimes. But well, no, I always look at it positive. There's probably some positivity in that situation. Now, as far as earlier, I was asked about House of a Thousand Corpses. I visually love what Rob Zombie is doing. In fact, I think the one movie of his I actually really liked was 31. I don't consider myself a fan of any of those House of a Thousand Corpses. My girl loves those movies. She loves all 3 of them. I'll watch them. You know, she could definitely put something worse on. She likes those movies. I like those movies. I don't love them. I do like his remake of Halloween. He actually made me think Michael Myers was a decent character for a change, because that is my least favorite horror slasher. I've never understood the fascination America has with that character. There's nothing scary about him. Now, maybe if he came into my room in real life and, you know, walked in on me and waving a knife around all slow and stupid, and I wasn't fast enough to react, then I'd be scared. But I'm pretty fast. I've got strong legs. I can move. But any of you want to race me You could meet me at the corner of the street. Let's go. I'm gonna race you. But not a huge fan of Rob Zombie, but I like what he does visually. He has no sense of storytelling, however. Let's just be honest. But again, here I am talking about I like street trash, and that's pretty fucking convoluted. Swan says the House of a Thousand Corpses movies are fun. He doesn't know how he'd rate them, but he liked them when he was younger. And he says he's fast. So, Swan, me and you are going to have a race later. Winner gets the loser ice cream. Or, wait, no, because I want you to buy me the ice cream. So, winner gets ice cream bought by the loser. That's going to be you. So, get ready for that. Hi. But, in all seriousness, I like what Rob Zombie does visually. I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing because he's in the position that he's in. You don't get there from not knowing what you're doing, or at least kind of knowing what you're doing. My argument would be I kind of know what I'm doing. Yeah. But now we all want ice cream. So maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm eating fire roasted peanuts. You didn't know you'd be listening to me busting nuts on the live stream, but here we are. Swan says he doesn't eat ice cream, but it's still a win. You know what? There was a time in my life where it was a battle every day. Do I want beer or do I want ice cream? And for like 3 years of my life, I said, no, it's beer. So I didn't eat ice cream for the longest time. It sucked because I can't do both at the same time. That's asking for barf. Hey, Lunchbox. What's up, buddy? How you doing? My cat has just jumped in my lap. He wants my attention suddenly. What's up, dude? You being a good boy? Huh? Yeah? You being good? We got Lunchbox on a new diet because his food is expensive. His food is expensive. It's prescription food. And you haven't ran in the last 8 years? Man, you got to run every day. I'm running for president next week. But Lunchbox, his food is expensive. Hey, buddy. How you doing? You're such a good kitty. It's been a while since you jumped over and wanted my attention. It's been like 2 days. What's up? Oh, you gonna knock stuff over? Okay. He's rubbing on the microphone now. Well, anyways, his food's expensive. Oh, Ryan says real quick, dude, I felt that I quit cereal and ice cream. I'm good now, though. And then Swan says haven't done any significant fast movement or jumping in so long. I don't know if I can anymore. I believe you can. I believe we're all capable of moving fast in the right situation. Lunch, what is it? So here's what we've done for lunch. Wow, sorry about that glitch there. With Lunchbox, his food, we got a notification from Chewy.com. That's the website. This is not a paid endorsement. It's just a website where we get his prescription food because he had urinary tract, not infections, but problems. Hey, Lunch. You're a good boy. And so we had to get him something special so he didn't keep getting pee crystals. Please don't step on the keyboard, buddy. Here, lay down. Lay down. Oh, you want the peanuts? Yeah, just leaning, like that codeine promethazine, just leaning. Anyways, so it's been about a week since he was supposed to have some new food delivered, and it's not coming. So we've got it. We're trying to get him into the raw diet, but he would not eat raw liver. He would not eat raw chicken gizzards. So you got to cook them. You got to dice them up for it. And then Kurt Pentinich says, what is this? This is me talking to people who may or may not know me live in the form of a cartoon. How's it going, buddy? How you doing, Kurt? Are you doing all right? That's right. I just spoke to you directly. But anyways, no, we started feeding him fresh chicken and stuff. He was eating real good to begin with, but then he got sick. So we had to start giving him prescription food, and that shit is just garbage. But it was like, I was spending like $90 a month on just a couple of cases. I was like, this is garbage. And Kurt says, whoa. So anyways, we just said, fuck it, let's just go fresh for him. You could buy the cheap chicken. I know you're like thinking, why the cheap chicken? The cartoon man is talking to you, Kurt Angle. Pintinich. I don't know how to say your last name, so that's not an insult, by the way. I'm illiterate. That's all. But guys, I'm actually an auto-generated intelligent. I'm not real. I'm a robot. Oh, Kurtz mentioned something. Let me point this out. For those of you who don't know, I actually grew up. Well, I can't say I grew up with. I spent about 6 years of my life being close friends with Justin Roiland, one of the co-creators of Rick and Morty. His mother taught me how to drive. So, yeah, I actually know that guy. One of the first T-shirts I ever had printed, me and him did together. I still have that shirt. It's probably not worth anything, but it's for the high school we went to. He attended Sierra High School most of his high school career, whatever you want to call that. Then he came on over to Manteca High for senior year, and then that's where we became buddies. He saw me drawing. He said, "Hey, you draw," and I'm like, "Yeah, you noticed." And he said, "I noticed," and I said, "Oh gosh, shucks." And he said, "Oh geez, you want to be friends?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm pretty antisocial. Are you tricking me?" And he's like, "No, I'm not tricking you." And I'm like, "All right, let's be buddies." So we were buddies, and we would smoke weed and drink beer and draw pictures and listen to music. And then one day he moved to LA, became friends with like Jack Black and Sarah Silverman and like people that we would watch on television. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy doing this? He had a better financial situation than I did. Let's just say that. And that's not to blame money making everything possible, because we both have talent. It's just he had a better situation. I actually spoke to him a couple years ago. We don't really talk as often as we used to since I moved to Texas, but we were hanging out every Christmas and touching base. But you know, people change over the years, and that's not so much a stab at him, it's more a stab at myself. But anyways, now that that's been brought up, I just figured I'd share that information. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Lunchbox. Whoa! Lunchbox, he needed some food, so we've been cooking up chicken hearts. He'll eat the chicken hearts raw. So if you have a cat and you want to give him some raw chicken hearts, it's like $1, maybe $2. And yeah, so you know, $2 for some chicken hearts, and you got a bunch of food for him to eat. He can only have like 8 or 9 of those a day, but you know. No, I wouldn't say he stole any of my characters. I would definitely say one character. Here's I don't talk about this, but there's one character that was inspired by me, or rather by a character I created. I had a character named Mihu. When we prank call people, he still has all this shit. I had the audio for years. I tried to get a copy off of him. He won't give it up, but that's probably smart on his part. You know, he's getting pretty successful. So, but I had a character named Mihu, talked in a high-pitched voice. And at that time, I was also very depressive and honestly suicidal. So, Gene says, 2 watching? Yeah, that's just 2 people watching on YouTube. There's people on Facebook, which is where I'm actually a little bit more known. But yeah, there's a character who I believe may or may not be inspired by a character that I created. And, you know, do I feel like I should sue? Not at all. But I know what it is. And I also think it was inspired not just by me, but also a character from Mr. Show. Yeah, that's the one, Ryan. A character, by the way, how's it going, Gene? I hope everything's going good for you. That character also looks very suspiciously like a character from Mr. Show with Bob and David. He's actually who got me into Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. Been a fan of them since like 98. So it's crazy to me to think that I've been watching a show called Better Call Saul, starring a character, you know, and a comedian who I've been a fan of since high school. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for subscribing, Gene. Thank you to anybody who is subscribing. If you're on Facebook, by the way, be sure to go over to the YouTube and subscribe there. We need some love on the YouTube. Be sure to check out my shows, my little videos that I've been putting up on the YouTube. I got 2 new ones up in the last week. I'm working on a really big one, a big project right now about what makes a melt movie be. Somebody named Awesome Dinosaur says, we live in the future. Howdy, Awesome Dinosaur. You sound like a dinosaur who might be awesome. And Gene says, liking. Thank you. And that's for everybody who likes. Here's a thumbs up to you. I'm giving you a thumbs up right back because I like you guys too. You guys are really effing cool. Hold on, I think my cat wants out of the room. 1 second. You want out, buddy? Come on. There you go. Have fun. All right. Apparently, my character got froze up when I walked away for a second. Awesome says, I just subscribed. Do you just talk about cat food stuff? Not at all. Not at all. I talk about, right now when I'm on live, I'm just talking about whatever people want to talk about. I have a cat. And as far as the Boondocks, great show, by the way. A lot of good music in that show, too. Some Mad Villain and De La Soul. A lot of good music in that show. What is Constipate a Melt movie? Says Brad. And well, Brad, you are number one for constipating the melt movie. What I meant is constitutes, which is what I think I said. But I like the joke all the same. Because constipate would be the opposite of something melting. It's something firm, isn't it? It's good to see Lunchbox doing great after the amputation. Yeah, by the way, my cat has 3 legs now. It's fucking crazy. Gene says this is his first time getting noticed. Get used to it, champ. Because I'm going to notice you every time you're on my stream. That's how it goes, by the way. You comment, I'll shout you out. And I'll talk to you guys about whatever. I am just a simple nobody who's done a lot of things, but has also not done enough. So, you know, it is what it is. But I got some new videos up if you guys are interested in my edited stuff. Same character that you see here. Same voice I'm using now. This is my regular speaking voice. Like if you were to see me on the street, this is, well, actually, if you saw me in the street, I'd be like, hey, what do you want? Hey. Because, you know, I got to look like a tough guy. Otherwise, you might want to steal my stuff. You know, just kidding. Just kidding. Nobody wants to steal from me. I'm really cool. Awesome Dinosaur says, Giancarlos Mercedes has never been in public. Well, Jesus Christ. Now he's in public on a public comment stream. Brad says, welcome, Gene. One of us. Gene says, Justin, do more for hears. You know what? I need to. So, pardon my lean. I just died. So, anyways, more for hears. I actually do half of the voices in that first episode of For Hears. That I do the how do I get my own cartoon on here? Kurt says, you mean your own cartoon character or your own cartoon? Because this is YouTube. You can put your own cartoon on YouTube. You don't need me. As far as For Hears goes, I did half of the voices. I came up with half of the content. I did all the editing and all the animating and all the everything else except for the music and half of the voices and half of the writing. We may not get any more For Hears anytime soon. We might. I don't know. If we don't, I may reuse the... Oh, my God, Ryan says, I kind of had a cartoon idea about a cockroach that talked, but the people who just moved into the house tried to swat him, so he's half a roach, stuck in one spot the whole time. He's kind of pervy, and he talks about his wife dirty all the time. But he gives the kids and husband advice and stuff. That reminds me of a character that I created in the dumpster named Pukey Pete. You guys want to talk to Pukey Pete? We could do that real quick. I can bring him on here. Hold on. I can hear my daughter... Hold on a second. This is bad. Hold on. They're supposed to be... Hold on. Baby girl, what do you want? You want in? Come on in. Yes, I'm still live streaming. It's okay. Jesus Christ. It's okay. You could be in, but I'm not talking to you right now. You just do your thing. Use your tablet or something. What do you want? Huh? Well, then change your diaper. You know how to do that. She wants a diaper change. All right. Well, now that the fatherly side of me has come out and I'm not catching a break here. Oh, the cat's back. No, I want a cartoon guy to say my comments to you. That doesn't work that way. I don't have there's absolutely no way right now to animate 2 characters talking live. It would actually require 2 computers with the same identical applications running at once, and then some green screen, and then somehow merging those 2 streams together, which I'm sure is possible. Jared knows about merging streams together. Don't you, Jared? We know about you and your stream merging. Come here. You need help? You got it? Bring the wipes over. All right. Now I'm changing the diaper during the live stream. Huh? Yes, diapers. There's stickers in that one. You want me to give you the stickers? Everybody loves stickers. That's one thing I've learned in my life. Oh, okay. Whatever you say. Want me to open that for you? Oh, you're gonna take it down there? Oh, you got it? Oh, jeez. Yeah, multiple PCs on one stream. Yeah, baby. Here, put these back in the drawer. Could you? Yeah. Here. Here, I'll throw it over there. I'll put it away later. Come here. One moment, guys. Here, let me. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, this is a new channel, so like if you were to go to my music channel, it still has a very underwhelming 2,000 subscribers, and I don't really use that one right now. Come here, baby. Come here. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna do that part? Who's a big girl? You. Come here. You gonna throw it away? Good girl. All right. Sure. He says, what program do I need to get on this project? You're gonna need many projects. Come here, baby. Come here. Okay. Give you a wipe. There you go. You having fun? You being okay down there? You guys behaving? Good. Here, come on, put your foot in. Other foot. There you go. You don't understand words very well, do you? If I said get me a beard, you know what I'm talking about? No? Okay. Well, at least you're honest. Alright, go have fun. Did you close my door? Yeah. Well. I love how mostly private Justin is. Then blam, baby butt changing time. The monster does have a heart. Do I play Roblox? No, I do not. Yes, baby, that's broken. I know. Sorry, guys. This will pass. It's a little storm of baby interrupting the room. So I missed some comments, and I do apologize. Baby, I'm live right now. That's me. Yeah, that's me. You want me to do a thumbs up? Yeah, see, there you go. Look, I did it. You like that? Can you do a thumbs up? Is that me? Radioactive Kangaroo says, I know that feeling. Hey, guys, sorry, by the way. Everybody just tuning in or whatever it is. Can you close my door, baby? Thank you, sweetie. Oh, come on. What are you doing now? Oh, yeah, don't forget your tablets, huh? All right. See you, baby. Say bye. I don't know if you guys can hear her. But, when am I going to do a face reveal? No, I'm always going to wear a mask. I've revealed my face once or twice on Facebook, a few times. Yeah, thumbs up for the baby, by the way. She's growing up so fast. Yeah, Swan says, the goal is to make the chat so active you can't get to any messages. So let's work on that, guys. I don't know if he's saying you should be messaging more. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying it should be more popular. And that would be a great thing. So maybe I'll just keep streaming and, we'll make this thing pop off eventually. In the meantime, I'm doing videos. I'm also, I got contacted about doing a Blu-ray for a company who I absolutely adore. A Blu-ray cover, I should say. I also got approached for an album cover for a rapper who a lot of you have heard of, which is normal anymore, I guess, for me and people like myself. But, you still got to find time to be amazed by the things that you get to do. Or like finding out that my artwork has been slipped into an extra on a DVD or in the booklet of a DVD. It's always going to blow my mind. Radioactive Kangaroo says, I still remember the Facebook post that you had up without a mask, but you took it down super quick. Can you teach me how to animate, says Gene. Well, I'm kind of busy with the teaching, but I could always help you guys get some leads on where to start. It's a lot of work. Let's just be honest about that. Real animation. We got a fella in the comments right now named Swan. I believe he does what I would call real animation. Whereas what you're seeing right now is more like a puppet. It's a rig, and it's reacting to my voice. It's reacting to my movement. And although that makes it sound like, ooh, that's super easy, there's still all kinds of bullshit that happens that you gotta work around and fix things. Swan says how to animate just something and either make it move or draw it again. Oh, I think he meant just draw something and either make it move or draw it again. Gene said, all right. Animation takes too long. It's a long, yeah, see, that's what I figured you meant, Swan. It is a long process. I will tell you, anybody can animate to some degree. It just takes a little bit of searching on YouTube or Google. You will find the answers that you're looking for. There's all kinds of ways to animate too. There's no one way. I'm not familiar with the mocap. I remember Mocha or Moco or I don't know that system. But if it's like rigs and stuff, it's probably similar. Yeah, it uses a face rig, so that's a system I'm gonna have to look into then. But with all that said, what were we talking about last? Because now I feel like we're just gonna focus on the animation thing, and that's great. But that's like when you walk up to a woman with big tits and start talking about her tits. Please don't talk about my tits, guys. Okay, it makes me self-conscious. Swan says, I like doing frame by frame, but I'm still a baby. You can be the worst artist in the world and still do some sick animation. It's true. I think the best animation I ever did was like 2 seconds long. It's of a man popping and melting. He's just exploding. He's not even a man. He's just like a shape of a man. A shape of... it's one of my characters. I can't read whose comment that is, but amazing job on the new videos, man. I hope to see more of them. Love the format you got going and the sweet research. Thank you. Whoever you are, leave a comment and say it was me so I can go, oh, it was you. Giancarlo says, I got to go to sleep. I hope you have a great day, and I'll turn on my notifications so I can be early to another live stream. Cool, because I was doing the live streams daily. Now I'm probably doing them like 2 or 3 times a week. But I'm also working on recorded and edited materials so that I can actually be more on point and on topic. This is more for the sake of just keeping up appearances and having fun with everybody. Alex Whitner said, woo! My mouth does not want to say woo. Woo! No, it doesn't want to do it, even though it's programmed to. Almighty Seaver says, it was me, Mario. What's up, Almighty Seaver? How are you doing? Big old wave to you. Thumbs up to everybody in the audience watching right now in the crowd. I don't know what we're looking at on YouTube as far as the number of people. It's probably not as good. John Carlos says peace. Peace out to you, buddy. And you're number one. Number one. But yeah, so we're gonna discuss. I got a very involved video coming up. Oh, you guys want to go to the dumpster? Okay, hey Gene, if you're leaving, you might want to check this out because we're gonna go to the dumpster and talk to Pukey. That's right. I forgot all about poor old Pukey Pete. So here we go, guys. Let me just get. Oh, here we go. Let me just get my situation lined up proper for this because it's a bit of a dance to make this happen. So we're gonna go into we're gonna go over to Pukey Pete, see what he's up to. You guys ready? All right. Be sure to be nice to him. Hey guys, it's me, it's Pukey Pete. Pukey Pete is gonna move ya. Got the taste, it goes right through ya. Oh man, Swan, why'd you bring that up? Swan always gotta bring up people pissing on me. Every morning I wake up and you know what happens? Someone's pissed on me. And I don't wake up pissed off or nothing like that. I don't feel my best when Pukey's been pissed on, you know? Pukey don't like being pissed on. Pukey don't like that. I'm still trying to figure out the voice for Pukey. But we got Pukey in the house. I'm Pukey. That's me. I'm in the house. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to caress this. I'm going to caress the bottom of this dumpster. Feels real good. Pukey like it. Pukey like the feeling of a smooth dumpster on a Sunday morning. It's not Sunday. So anyways, guys, what's going on with you? Pukey got kicked. Pukey don't like when you talk about him butt. Please don't talk about Pukey butt. Jared says that transition is some Pee-wee shit. I love it. You know, I just couldn't, when we were putting that together, I said, hey, listen guys, I'm in a dumpster. You gotta make sure you you take your studio level quality cameras that is totally not a phone, not a cell phone or anything, and you gotta hold on, let me get my voice. Here we go. Now Pukey feels more like himself. Pukey said you got to zoom the camera into the dumpster. I don't know what I'm doing with Pukey's voice, to be honest. Every fucking time it's a new voice. Pukey his voice change. That's right, Pukey's in the house. And Pukey just want to say hello, Awesome Dinosaur, hello, Swan, and hello, Ryan Chambers. Please, nobody talk about my butt. It makes me shy. Me not like to be shy. Me want to be at home and relaxed in my dumpster with my trash sacks. In a puddle of pee. There's a puddle of pee. I think that's mine. Well, anyways, Pukey makes sounds like a beautiful lady. Oh, okay. Oh, me pretty lady. Hey, we got Steve Sodergren in the house. Hello. I want a Pukey shirt or hoodie. And Bobby Waters says Chinese food and blunts. Brad, if you want a Pukey shirt or hoodie, there is a link you can follow for that. Let me see if I can get one of my technical buddies on the internet to link that real quick. Pukey not really know much about internet things like that, but Pukey, suppose if that's your thing, and you want to give me some money, there's one way you could do that. So let's see here. Can somebody get this man the link? Justin, want to send him a link maybe, or you just gonna? No, you're not gonna do it. Here, hold on. Let's look over at Store Frontier's featured artist, and I bet you'll find Justin's store. Hey, Flyland Designs. I know that guy. Horrible home video. Hey, look at that. Featured artist. That's really cool. So let's go over there. Featured storefront, I should say. Oh, Swan says, hey Pukey, do you have a Tinder for body fluids and solids? Yes, it's called shut the fuck up, you normal shaped human. You're not supposed to be knowing about stuff like that, so don't ask me. Pukey not know. Hold on, I gotta get this character figured out. Maybe Pukey is schizophrenic and constantly changing his voices. Here, let me go over to the live video and drop the comment in there. Well, hello, lunch. Hello, kitty cat in the dumpster. That's unheard of. Please don't do that. Let me drop that link in there real quick. Here's the link. I'm dropping it on Facebook. Justin's dropping it on Facebook. Dropping it like a poop. There it is. It's going to show up on screen, and that's a clickable link. If you don't have the ability to click that link, you just go to Store Frontier. Go to Store Frontier, and then you could look at their featured artist. He's like, the third or fourth row of featured artists. So he's not really super featured, just kind of featured. Lunchbox. Much like Puke, you got to dig around in there to find out what's in him. What? Oh, that's gross. Pukey not like when you say gross things. Pukey like wholesome, fun family activities. Pukey got to take a diarrhea, so maybe we're gonna go back over to Justin. Yeah, bye. I'm gonna go diarrhea all over the place. Hey, how's it going, folks? We've got something that you might need. You just might need. I say you just might, but I think you will. It's 100% genuine Lunchbox fur. Now you can pet Lunchbox yourself. Hey, this is proudly made in the USA. It's the finest fur you can own in a bag. Net weight, about 1 ounce. Allergy alert, however, contains cat fur. You can get yours today at corpcircus.com. Now, a lot of people will be asking us, hey, how do you get this cat fur? Now, ignore the cat's hindquarters there, but what we do is we use this special device that extracts the fur from the beast known as Lunchbox, and see, it just comes right off like that. And then it's so good, actually, by the way, this fur is so good that he wants it back. You see that? He's got no sort of time for giving up such a high quality fur. But anyways, it comes right off the extraction device like this. And then we've been saving this up for the last couple of weeks. This stuff is extravagant. We can only get it this time of year because he's starting to shed his winter coat. And so because of that, we're not exactly in an abundance of this stuff, but we've got a little bit extra than we would say 6 months from now. So this is your one time to stop on by corpcircus.com and buy some 100% genuine lunchbox fur. So now you can own a little piece of lunchbox. Also, it's a good way to flex on your friends, because that's what friends are for, right? Flexing on 'em. Make sure you show them, hey, look at that, he's got 3 legs, by the way. I just noticed that. Holy shit. But be sure to stop on by corpcircus.com. Get you some 100% genuine lunchbox fur. Now you can pet lunchbox. That's right. Get yours at corpcircus.com today. There is limited quantities of this available, and it'll be another year until we have as much as we have now. So be sure to stop by. Get it while we got it. While you're here, smash that like button, drop a comment, and let us know if you're going to get some lunchbox fur. Have a good day. All right. Okay, well, sorry about that, guys. There was a bit of a commercial there that I felt like I should play while I took a break to eat some more fire roasted peanuts, fresh out of the shell. So while I was on break, I ate some of those. I'm gonna eat another couple here that I've already cracked open. What do you call that? ASMR? That's right. You enjoy it. Listen. Yeah. Jared has asked if we can trade cat hair like pelts, and I gotta tell you, I think I have enough cat fur as it is. I don't know if that's a healthy idea for me. Now, if you would like some fur, we can arrange that. I do have a cat leg in my freezer, by the way. I've been meaning to get that stuffed, so that's probably the most morbid thing I can think about as far as I go. Now, I don't know if you guys remember a fella by the name of, what's his name, like Lucas Douglas. He's a really fat, roly-headed character from For Hears. So those of you who like For Hears, we got some For Hears for you right now, if you would like to talk to him. He seems to think we had a guest on the show, because every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, who's the guest? I'm like, shut up, dude. Don't talk about guests. We're not doing that yet. He's like, oh, who's the guest? And I'm like, shut up. So we're going to kick it over to him. We're going live with him, so. All right, take it away from me, if you could, please. Come on. Where you at, buddy? He's being shy for some reason. You guys ready for this? Here he is. Hey, guys, it's me, the fat guy who works at the sandwich shop. You all know me by now. But enough about me. Let's talk about movies that really need to complete their trilogies. What are some movies that you love that had a part 1 and a part 2 but didn't get a part 3? I'll start this conversation. I always thought there should be a Crank part 3. I always felt like Crank and Crank 2 High Voltage with Jason Statham, great movies. By today's standards, easily something worth canceling. But if you ask me, they make very good commentaries on society. And, well, not really. I just like all the action. It's exciting. But I always wanted a part 3 where we see like a burnt up Jason Statham running around doing all the same stuff we saw in part 1 and 2 with new commentary about the world and what we're dealing with now. Problem is, something like that would probably get shut down pretty quickly because everybody's sensitive nowadays. But that's a movie I would like to see a part 3 for. A part 3, 4. A quadrilogy. Well, anyways, another movie I always thought that should get a sequel was Weekend at Bernie's. Now, they made Weekend at Bernie's. If you're not familiar with Weekend at Bernie's, it's where Bernie Lomax is a fella who he sends out for a dude to assassinate these 2 guys who uncover this like financial what's the word? When you're stealing money from your corporation. Well, I'm not very smart, so I don't remember the word, but they're stealing money. And so Bernie's like, come on out to my island. And I don't know if it's island or not. But he said, come on out and party with me. And then he's going to have them murdered by the guy from Return of the Living Dead, part 1. The guy who works on cadavers. You remember that guy? He's like German. Well, anyways, he's the guy, he's the hitman in Weekend at Bernie's. And so anyhow, he, instead of assassinating the two guys, he ends up killing Bernie. And then the two guys basically turn Bernie into a puppet, right? It's a great movie. It's very dark now that I think about it. The more I talk about it, the weirder this movie sounds. But anyways, they for some reason they turn him into a puppet so they can keep their job or promotion that he promised them. But he just said that to get them to the island to kill them, to murder them. Now, with all this said, they made a part 2, and I don't even know how, because you'd think there'd be some decay. Like, you'd think his body by now would be broken down so severely that they couldn't continue their little marionette act with him like he was some kind of Muppet. But now he dances when he hears music. It's even weirder, and I love it. Now, hear me out. Here's my pitch for Weekend at Bernie's Part 3. Okay? This is serious, so don't laugh too much, okay? Because I mean every word of what I'm about to say. But I think Weekend at Bernie's 3 should exist. It could be the same cast. You get those same two fellas. And then you get, you don't need Bernie in this one. We just need some props that kind of resemble a rotted body. And like, you have like a skull, a couple arms, maybe a couple legs. And, you know, they could dance around when they hear music. Now here, the plot could go one of two ways. They're just walking around with all these pieces of Bernie, and everybody's just like, oh, it's Bernie! And then they start dancing with his corpse parts, and like everybody's just oblivious. Kind of like in the previous ones, which I think would be dark, morbid, and hilarious. Or everybody sees through the charade, or charade, depending on how you like to say it. Everybody sees through it, and they're like, what are these guys doing walking around with these corpse parts? And they're the only ones who are fooled by it. And they're going around doing this and freaking everybody out. Like, no matter how you do this, Part 3 could be the comedy we need, especially in this day and age. We need a good laugh. So that's my pitch. Make Crank Part 3 and make Weekend at Bernie's Part 3. If they if they know better, if they know what's good for them, they'll make these movies. If they know what's good for them, you better know what's good for you, you damn studio execs. Don't make me Weekend at Bernie your ass. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to curse. But anyways, those are my ideas. What would you like to see complete its trilogy? What movie do you think always deserved a Part 3? Or what movie deserved a Part 2 but got a Part 1 and 3? Like Thanksgiving. They should have made Part 2, but they didn't. They made Part 3, and that's my favorite, by the way. So yeah, what trilogy would you like to see completed? Let's hear it in the comments. I'm just gonna stare blankly at the screen and pretend like I'm actually seeing the words that you're saying. Oh, look, there's a comment. Oh, I'm reading the comments. Wow. This is actually pre-recorded, so settle down. Anyways, we're going to go back over to Justin Parker, who is live, and he is actually able to respond to your comments, unlike me, because I'm just a pre-recording. Sorry to ruin the magic for you, folks. Alakazam! Wow. That just, I'm over here eating more fire-roasted peanuts, so that was a much-needed break. But you know, that guy brings up some good comments or good ideas for things to talk about. What's a movie you think should have got a third installment? Whoa. Ryan says the whole Star Wars needs to be redone. The whole trilogy. Encino Man 2 did get a sequel. It was called Encino Woman. And they're talking about making an actual sequel, by the way. Did I trick you guys? Did you think I was actually talking there? Because I gotta tell you, I'm a human. I swear, I'm not a robot. But I was like, I gotta take a quick break and eat some peanuts and drink this beer. No, actually, it wasn't a pee break. If I want to take a pre-break, pee break, I just go over here and I bust one of these out. But I was actually taking a peanut break, so I'm breaking open some peanuts. Gremlins 3, Steven Sodergren says, and I think they're working on a Gremlins 3. I'm pretty sure they are. So yeah, I don't know if you guys like this format for the show or not. I figure some pre-recorded stuff might be good. Maybe Pukey will be pre-recorded from now on. I just don't want to do too much pre-recording in there. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Part 2. I agree with that. Or Part 42. I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I love the original BBC show because I think I like it more because it's longer. Whoa. Gross. And because there's something about sci-fi from the 70s and 80s that just looks great because it's so cheap. But it looks like they try harder. And it looks... the aesthetic in Hitchhiker's Guide is amazing. It really is. It's endearing is the word I'm probably looking for. But yeah. Sleepaway Camp remake? I don't know. I was alright with the original. Part 2 and 3 are okay for what they are. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. I could have probably... I have one that I used the other day, and I was just like, hey guys, I'm reading the comment, and then it shows the character just going, oh, oh, where'd you learn all these words? You know, just like pretending like he's reading them to himself. You know, a stolen joke from somewhere probably. But I don't want to do too much pre-recorded stuff. I think if I do pre-recorded on Pukey videos, I think he's going to have to focus in on life advice. He'd be a good character to have life advice for. And then, of course, we cut over to the fella from For Hears. We just talk about whatever the fuck he talks about. That son of a bitch is weird looking. So, you know, whatever. I ain't really got nothing to say to him. Otherwise, he's going to think we're friends. You got to be careful with shit like that. Start talking to the wrong one, and they're like, hey, we're buddies. And I'm like, nah, just like and subscribe like it says in the corner. Oh, man. So, just kidding, guys. I'm making fun of myself. That's the joke. Bolds. Dead Snow 3. You know, I saw the first one. I have not seen the second one. That was a suggestion from Ryan Deranged. I do really honestly believe that they should make Weekend at Bernie's 3. I've been such an advocate for this movie that even if they make it and don't credit me in any way, because I've been pitching the same thing for years, if they make it and don't credit me, I don't even know if I'll be pissed. I just want the movie to exist. So, here, I think I'm done with the fire roasted peanuts. What brand of fire roasted peanuts am I eating tonight? As if anybody gives a fuck about the brand of Shell peanuts. This one is Heinz. Oh, okay. You ain't Heinz. That don't even look like the Heinz logo, you fucking liar. I got some peanuts over here and it says Heinz. Yeah, whatever. I don't see no 57 on this bag. Son of a bitch. Look like you feed this shit to elephant. It's so good though. Good elephant food. There we go, I'm done. Sorry guys. Yeah. The Collector 3 is coming out, Jared. I don't know if you knew that. It's called The Collected. ED. The Collected. I just read about that a couple days ago. So I don't know if you haven't heard yet, but if you haven't, then hey, I brought you some good news. I did not mind those movies. They were okay. I have Collector and The Collection, and then now we're going to have The Collected. I do apologize for the ketchup nuts. What the fuck? Excuse me. I apologize for eating. It's so hard to stop eating peanuts or like chips when you start eating them. And I figured the reason I've I was eating sunflower seeds for a while there. I don't smoke or anything now. I do drink beer occasionally. I've been drinking beer the last 3 days, but that's not common. The gore was amazing in The Collection. It was a fine gore, circa 2000 something. I believe they used real human blood in this movie. And if they didn't, my did they ever achieve such a delightfully realistic look. Oh. Excuse me. There we go. Now I'm good. So I stopped eating the sunflower seeds because I was like, this probably isn't good for my teeth because they got points. The shell's got points, and I'm like busting all these pointy sunflower seeds on my teeth. And Adam Northrup says more BR. I think he means beer. Burr. But yeah, I started. Hey, look, Starv's here. Yeah, we're talking about movies now again. You just missed Pukey, and then also Lucas Douglas from For Here's. We just had some guest spots. We had Pukey stop by for a little bit, showing off his cakes, and then Douglas was talking about movies from the that have a 1 and a 2 but don't have a part 3 that need a part 3. Oh, no, it's how'd I go from seeds to nuts is the actual question, Jared. So after eating the sunflower seeds a bunch, I was like, these are good, but the salt always fucking like not burns my mouth, but makes my mouth kind of raw. I was like, peanuts are good, and here's what I like about peanuts in the shell, particularly, is because they're in a shell, they take longer to eat. So I'm not eating a million of them, versus ones that have already been de-shelled. Is that the word? Shelled. So that's where I got over to that, and it goes good with beer. It goes great with beer, better than sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are great, but the shell peanuts. Ghost from Mars. So let me tell you, since Starve mentioned Ghost from Mars, let me tell you a little bit of trivia that I know about Ghost. It's Ghost of Mars, isn't it? First off, thank you. So Adam Northrop, we'll talk about Brain Damage again because that was talked about earlier, and I love that movie. My artwork is featured on the special features of the recent Arrow Blu-ray release. It's only on screen for 2 seconds, but I drew it. Now, Ghost of Mars was originally going to be the 3rd movie in a series that a lot of you know and love. What movie might that be? Anyone want to take a guess? Anybody? Nobody? All right, well, there's a movie called Escape from New York. The sequel was Escape from LA, and in the trilogy, the 3rd and final act of the movies was going to be none other than Escape from Mars. Instead, John Carpenter pussied out and decided it was time to cast Ice Cube instead of an actual actor who was a hell of a lot better and more enjoyable. Ice Cube's cool, don't get me wrong, but did he belong in Ghost of Mars? I don't know. I don't think he did, but that was supposed to be the 3rd in the series for see, I know a little bit about movies, guys. I know a lot about movies they almost made too. That's what I find that shit the most interesting. It's the stuff that they were going to make. Like Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. I wish they would have made that. But yeah, Ghost of Mars was going to be Escape from Mars. And then they decided, well, no, the last one kind of didn't do good because Escape from LA did not do as well. Or at least from what I recall, nobody seemed to give a shit. And I could see why, because the second movie for the Escape series sucked. Do I still watch it on and off? Yeah, but the first one's a classic. The first one's actually really good. You know what I'm saying? The second one, it's all right. If you just want a continuation that has more money but doesn't feel the same and doesn't have, it's just not as good, but it's somehow better in budget. What? It blows my mind how they made a worse movie with more money. Oh, yeah, I guess that's how it works, though, isn't it? Which Jack Frost movie? Starve? The horror movie or the family movie with Michael Keaton? The horror movie was actually pretty funny. But, yeah, Escape from Mars was going to be a thing. The horror one. You could watch that right now, I think, on Prime or Shudder. Somebody has that right now. And you can watch it for relatively cheap if you already subscribe to the service. Because when I say it's on Prime for free, that's what I'm really saying is if you have a subscription, because I think that's the first subscription service I ever got, was Prime. Now I think about it, I was always so fuck Netflix, fuck Hulu. I ended up subscribing to one of those two, and then my girl subscribed to the other. And so now I have those, but I'm so against all of these various subscriptions. I just don't get it. Oh, you bought it from Vinegar. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome makes some really great what do they call it? Boutique Blu-rays. I got a few of those. I got Uninvited from Vinegar Syndrome. I got I only have 5. No, I got a few recently. I got Immortalizer. I got the Nightmare Sisters. I got slips for all of these. I got Hell Comes to Frogtown. I got a bunch of movies from VS now that I think about it. I thought I only had a few, but I bought a bunch recently during their Black Friday thing. So if you know about Vinegar Syndrome, then you probably heard of Severin Films, who I just might be doing a cover for one of their Blu-ray movies. Hopefully, if that goes well. I hate to spill the beans before it's even been cemented or certified, but I'm pretty confident in my skills. Then again, I get a lot of things offered to me that don't happen, like that time Weekly World News hired me and then literally fucking ghosted me. That's a thing that happened. They were like, yeah, well, if we happen to do good with this Kickstarter or GoFundMe or whatever, like, yeah, if we do good with this, we'll hire you. I'm like, cool. So I even shared it and helped them out. And then I was like, man, did I just get suckered? All right, I think I just got suckered. No, I don't think I got suckered. I think they realized they couldn't fucking hire me because I wanted money. And I think what they wanted was people who would work for free. So shouts out to Weekly World News for dangling a dream come true over my head and then not giving it to me, you sons of bitches. But they have new issues, I guess, coming to Checkstand soon. So I don't know if the first issue is going to have a big list of thank yous, but if it does, because there's supposed to be an issue with my name in it, hopefully it's the one that they put in grocery stores. I have a feeling it's not going to be that. I think they're going to send it to the Kickstarter people only, which makes it even worse in my opinion, because then it's like, oh, so nobody's really going to see this except for me. Maybe my mom. Well, all right. Then it is what it is. But yeah. Who else? Arrow. Arrow's another really good Blu-ray company. Arrow Films. Also 88 Films. Pretty good. But they've, not talking shit, out of all the ones that I would say are slacking right now, it's 88 Films. And I have a feeling because I think it's one guy. So he's doing really good for being just one guy. And even, you guys didn't know this, but I'm going to tell you, here's an industry secret. Scream Factory is only 2 people. Nobody knows this really, except for people who know this. And now you are the people who know this. So it kind of makes me feel bad for like I think it was after the Black Friday sale. It took them like 2 months to send me my fucking order. And I remember I sent them an email like, hey, where's my shit? This is really lame. And they were like, we'll send it eventually. We're sending everything in order. I go, you sent shit to people who I know ordered after me, like days after. And they're like, shut up. Shut up. We're going to send it to you. And I said, just send it. And they were like, we will. And I was like, okay. And then they sent it eventually. Actually, surprisingly, they didn't damage my shit. So. Starve says, a rapper named Violent J took one of his CDs and said he was interested and never hit him up. Let me tell you about that Violent J. He once tweeted that he would never sign my group, Corpse Circus. That was a pretty big deal at the time. I remember sharing the screen caps and the links. The tweet has since been deleted as far as I can tell. So yeah, he's a great guy, I'm sure. I'm sure he's a man of his word because he never did sign me. Oh yeah, you're still alive. Hello again. Hello, Glenn. Hello. Jared says, not that anyone cares. Police chase in the neighborhood. It's not me, I swear. Well, now we all suspect that it is you, and we are on the lookout, and we're going to give the authorities a proper tip-off. So everybody who wants to help me snitch on Jared, thumbs up. Smash that like so the police know where he's at. Leave a comment. Say, please arrest this man, Jared Methina. But yeah, you know, as far as people being bigger, or yeah, whatever, Jared. As far as people being bigger in the industry, yeah, that's right. Sam says you're busted. Sam Malvito. I probably said that wrong. I'm going to have a sip of beer. So while I have an actual sip of beer, I'm going to animate a sip of beer. The devil's backbone. It's tasty. Make sure to ask for it by name. And then shove the bottle up your ass. But that would be some next level multitasking. Evading police and commenting on a live stream. Well, he's just that good. Jared says he's about as honest as Violent J. Well, in Starve's instance, I would say Violent J probably was not honest. And in my instance, he was very honest when he said he would never sign my group. And this is back when people... I took a hot bath today, soaked in some salt, relaxed my back. I have, a bit of a back problem still. And I reflected on my life, and I was like, it's weird. When I actually really think about, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, Lightweight was kind of having a bit of a cult leader thing going on. That's not to try to put myself up on a pedestal or make myself sound cooler than I was, because there's nothing cool about that. It's more of the fact that I realized when I told people to do something, just groups of them would do it. And I remember at that time I was like, hey, go tell ICP to sign us. And I was just joking. And then they had gotten so many comments about it that they posted, we will not sign Corpse Circus. Like, they were so upset by it that they did that. You know, so, and I had no part of actually commenting. I didn't do shit. I just said, hey, go do this. And they did it. And that was just kind of the situation I had for a few years. About all they really got out of me, I think, besides music and merchandise, was the occasional free sticker or giveaway. Yeah, I was, let's see, Glenn says, Violent J's and Ash Shaggy Too Dope is a real one. I could see that. Starf says, I still remember when I first started and seeing you moving crazy. I was doing everything. I was moving quickly, and I could have kept moving. Huge thing is we play together, and he said, if we get to shake his hand, want to shake his hand. I'm trying to read that. He's big garbage. As far as Starve, I don't know if I hated you. I think I was just annoyed by you back then. That's just me being honest. You gotta remember at the time too, I was super feeling myself because I was making moves. I was getting action figures of myself made, all kinds of crazy t-shirts and albums and collabos, and just things were going good. What changed was some choices I had made. Oh, and I think, and you'd been spamming me. So I think more than anything, I was just upset. I was like, why is this guy spamming me? You know my stance on spam. Sending me links all the time. Hey, yo, bro. And at the time, I'd say you were like, what, 9 years old? No, I don't know. You were like 18 or something. But you were a young fella. You still are, I'm sure. And, I mean, shit, age ain't got nothing to do with a filter. I still don't really, I mean, my filter's gotten better, but it's still not quite there. But what it comes down to is, you know, I was doing all kinds of, I was making really good moves for being somebody who wasn't anybody. The only thing that really stopped me was me. So that's why I'm still trying to figure out what to do with myself now. At the time, I'd started, well, there's a series of events. There were so many things. There was like a bunch of shit happening at the job I worked at the time. Now I work for myself. But at the time, I worked for a corporation for 17 and a half years, by the way. And that was terrible. It's where I injured myself. I was breaking loads. I worked at a grocery store. And every day I was breaking gigantic loads by myself. That's pallets of heavy boxes. And basically what it came down to is with that going on, my job was getting worse. I put in more responsibility. James Rickles. James Butt Freckles says CC Farrell. I'm sorry, James. I don't know how to say your last name. So if you want to write out how to say it, I'll say it correctly. Glenn says, you are your biggest critic. And that's true. I think some people are. I think some people are not their own biggest critic. Jared says, Sage's advice, the only thing that stopped me was me. And that's the truth. And here's how I stopped me. I'd gotten injured, and that really should not have been enough to stop me. But after being out of work for 3 months, being stuck in the bed because it was a very bad back injury, and doing everything I could to get it fixed, from like physical rehabilitation to acupuncture to acupressure to pills to oh God, what else did we? Chiropractor. I did everything, you know, everything I could to try to fix my situation, and nothing was really helping. Because you know why? Because I kept doing the same thing that hurt me. Now think about that. If you get hurt at a job you're working at, that better be your sign to get the fuck out. But not me. No. Kept working there for another 4 years or so. But in that 4 years time, I started drinking because I needed relief. Speaking of drinking, I'm going to have a beer right now. That's a good beer. So, cheers. I started drinking, plus they had me on like a cocktail of 4 different painkillers. I'm going to be honest with you too. I feel like I got stupider from the fucking drugs they put me on. My memory is now fucking shit compared to what it used to be. I had a better memory than I do now. You know, and I guess that could come with age, but honestly, I'm going to chalk that up to the pills that they give me. Like 4 different things, and I was taking them every day for like 2-3 years. And one of the things was ibuprofen, which is, you think, oh, that's not a big deal, but I think that ibuprofen fucking anti-inflamed my brain. Just being honest, I think it I think all that shit they gave me fucked me up. Brad says his back is the same at his job. Everything will put a lot of things on hold for no reason other than your own headspace, says Glenn. And it's true. Also, at the time, I was dealing with, some rap scene shit where someone decided to take a stab. And then on top of that, because I was like, what the fuck? Like, why now? And I took it very personal. When I realized now it wasn't personal, they were just fucking idiots. And I was just a fucking idiot too. But then the other thing that happened, a buddy and myself, we had a company called Candy Claw, and that was doing really well. And then a lawsuit came along, and then ibuprofen fucks with a lot of people harder than it probably should. I think that's my opinion on your opinion. But what else happened? Oh man, Candy Claw. I know we were getting sued. Cease and desist orders from Fox. Cease and desist order from the company that owns the Screaming Hand. If you're familiar with Mr. A-Leg's drawing of the hand flipping off people, that was his response to the thing. He, because we got sued, we were gonna get sued over the severed hand. So his response was to do a series of these fuck you fingers, and then my response, I think, ultimately was I still ripped off the hand, but I used it for the Drankenstein, which, by the way, one of my favorite logos that I've ever designed. So Candy Claw falling apart and some stupid rap shit going on, fucking with me, and then I had a bunch of people like on my ass, like, hey man, so and so doesn't like you, so I don't like you. And I think honestly, looking back, I probably let that person have more power than they should have had. Consider they had absolutely no power and still have no power over anything. You know what I mean? And then there was also a breakup I was going through. So the girl I was dating at the time was a psychopath, and she was stalking me. That was something I was dealing with. And anytime she saw me talking to another girl, well, let's just say it was fun times, because then it was like, I see you got her over. And it was like, really? Why are you stalking me? I'm not stalking you. Then how do you know someone's here? Well, because someone told me. Bullshit. And even if someone did tell you, why do you care? If it's over. So I was dealing with a lot of shit. And then there was the whole lawsuit thing, like I said. And the pain of my back injury. I also became more bitter at the time. I was very bitter. I was very self-loathing, and I was very much outwardly hating on anything that I just fucking didn't like at the time. I felt like shit. And James still has and uses his Candy Claw can koozie, and Brad says, the fuck you bias hands. I don't know what that means. But Jared says, I remember those days. Oh, I vaguely remember those days. But, I mean, I was there, I think, for the most part. But I got really bad. I remember one of the times 8 Legs came out and Grim was over, and we were working on an album that I still have not released. But we had knocked the whole thing out in the course of, I think, a week or something. And I remember getting fucking stupid drunk. Like, embarrassingly drunk. And there's recordings of me just drunk, talking, just gibberish. Speaking of drinking. But see, I'm controlling my drinking now, so. I had, I think, 4 beers last night, four beers the night before, and I'm having 4 tonight. Bought a 12-pack, and I'm killing it over the course of 3 days because I need it. But I really don't be drinking that much anymore. Like, overall, I really don't. But back then, I was overdoing it, and I was on a cocktail of pills. And anyways, long story short, I started just kind of throwing everything away, just everything about life, and just quitting everything and start stuff and quit like massively, just fucking giving up. And I kind of gave up on myself for a while there, and then I just would be working my job, and that was depressing. Now I'm out here in Texas, moved away from California, just needed a fresh start. And things are so much better. I'm working for myself now. When I first moved out here, I was working some shitty job. I think I worked at Sefco for like a month. Worked at Sefco, and then I worked at like a bodega, like a convenience store, like a cigarette and beer store. Did that for about a year, mostly because they would let me draw while I was on the clock. But they wanted me there. They wanted me there like all day, every day. Jared says, release the recordings and claim them as speaking in tongues. Start the cult again. The cult, those cult days, I think, are kind of behind me because there was a danger that came with it too. And it's not to say, and at no point am I glamorizing this. You know, I'm not saying, oh, it was cool. There was cool aspects to it, I won't lie. But overall, there was also a danger to it. There were some fans who, you couldn't control them. And it's not a matter of control, but they thought because they got a little bit of recognition from something that they looked up to, that they had more clout or pull than they should. And one fella, I can't even remember his name anymore. I think it was like Crank Sinatra or something like that. But who turned out to surprisingly be using. Hello, baby. What are you doing? You want me to buy you a cheeseburger? I'm not sure if the cheeseburger place is open. If it is, I'll go and buy you a cheeseburger. Let me see. Cheeseburger place. Let's see. Burger King. Hours of operation. They're closing in like 6 minutes, sweetie. I don't think they want me to show up there. I'll get you a burger tomorrow, okay? But I'll make you something to eat tonight. Something, whatever you want. Want a sandwich? Yeah, or grilled cheese or something? Yeah, okay. We'll get that going here in a minute. You got a dinosaur? Let me hear. Here, let me see that dinosaur for a second. Can I see it? I want the people to hear this dinosaur. Oh, here's my dinosaur voice. Is that funny, baby? So yeah, you know, having people who would be quick to like, you know, do stuff for me, that was nice. But at the same time, I mean, it's funny because now I'm seeing a comparison. You know, if my daughter needs something, I'm like, hey, I'll go out and get you something. Back in the day, it used to be, I'd tell other people's daughters to go out and get me something. Go buy me this. Go say this about my group. Go make us look good. And they would do it. So, you know, it's a circle of life. You know, you go from having people cater to you sometimes to you catering to people. And I don't mind catering to my daughter. You know, is it a pain in the ass sometimes? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I mean, I still manage to find time to do the stuff that I want to do. So I guess that's really all it comes down to. And as far as what I'm going to do with my life and what I'm going to be as far as a creative person and hey, I'm over here talking and they can hear you if you guys keep getting loud. Let's cut it out. So, what's up, lunch? Okay, everybody wants my attention right now. The house wants my attention. The house says, join us. That's me slapping Lunchbox on the ass. Hey, kitty. How you doing? Being good? You want some more chicken hearts? Alright, I'll get to you in a minute, Lunch. God Christ. You know, if there is any lesson to be learned today, it's, I think we all, you know, we all live with pain and we all live with finding who we are artistically. It's okay, you don't have to apologize. They're already in here, so. But, you know, it is what it is. So while you guys are here, be sure to check out the videos that I do have uploaded in the meantime. One about Evil Dead, heavily taking various plot points from Equinox 1970. I assure you, the squealy sounds, that's not me. That's my daughter. But anyways, okay. Now there's laughter. But, yeah, check out the videos I have posted, and it seems that this video is going to come to a bit of an abrupt start. But hey, we had a pretty good stream here. It went for a while. So you guys have a good night. All right, take care, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Even if it's to get a hamburger for your daughter, don't do it. It's just not a smart idea. And if I can get this to work here, we're going to roll those credits. You guys have a good evening now. Take care.